Deep in the heart of Anatolia, where the winds whisper secrets of forgotten times, stood the great city of Hattusa. This was the capital of the Hittite Empire, a mighty kingdom that ruled over these lands more than 3,000 years ago. The city was protected by towering stone walls and massive gates, but these were not just ordinary walls and gates. They were guarded by powerful spirits, ancient beings carved into the stone itself. These were the mythic guardians of Hattusa, and their story is one of magic, mystery, and the unbreakable bond between the mortal world and the divine. Long ago, when the Hittite kings ruled with wisdom and strength, they knew their city needed more than just soldiers to keep it safe. They turned to the gods for protection. The priests and stone carvers worked together under the watchful eyes of the storm god Teshub and the sun goddess Irina. They carved great figures into the gates of Hattusa, not just as decorations, but as vessels for powerful spirits. These spirits were chosen by the gods to stand guard over the city, to watch for enemies, and to warn the people of danger. The most famous of these gates was the Lion Gate, where two massive stone lions stood on either side of the entrance. These were no ordinary statues. When the sun set and the shadows grew long, the lions would come to life. Their stone bodies would ripple like water, and their eyes would glow with a golden light. They would walk along the walls, their silent steps unheard by mortal ears. If an enemy tried to sneak into the city at night, the lions would roar, a sound that shook the earth and sent invaders running in terror. The people of Hattusa knew they were safe because the lions never slept. Another gate, the Sphinx Gate, was guarded by winged creatures with the bodies of lions and the faces of wise women. These sphinxes were not fierce like the lions. Instead, they were watchers and thinkers. They saw everything that happened in the city, the joys, the sorrows, the secrets. Some believed the sphinxes could even see into the future. If danger was coming, they would hum a strange, soft melody that only the priests could hear. The priests would then warn the king, and preparations would be made to defend the city. The sphinxes were silent most of the time, but their presence was a comfort to the people. But the most mysterious of all was the king's gate, where a single giant figure stood carved into the stone. This was not a lion or a sphinx, but a warrior. His face was stern, his eyes fierce, and in his hand he held a weapon that shimmered like lightning. The people called him the Eternal Sentinel, and they believed he was not just a guardian, but an ancient hero who had once lived among them. According to legend, this warrior had made a pact with the gods. He gave up his mortal life to become stone, so that he could protect Hattusa forever. On stormy nights when thunder rolled across the sky, some claimed they could see him move, his stone lips whispering warnings to the wind. For centuries these mythic guardians kept Hattusa safe. Kings rose and fell, wars were fought, but the stone figures never wavered. They were the silent protectors, the bridge between the world of men and the world of gods. But nothing lasts forever. The Hittite Empire grew weak, and enemies gathered at the borders. One day, a great army marched toward Hattusa, stronger than any before it. The people prayed to the guardians, and for the first time, they saw the stone figures truly come to life. The lions roared so loudly that the ground cracked. The sphinxes spread their wings and flew above the city, their voices weaving a song of protection. The Eternal Sentinel stepped down from his gate, his weapon blazing with divine fire. The battle was fierce, but even the guardians could not stop the fall of Hattusa. The city was burned, the walls crumbled, and the empire faded into history. But the guardians did not die. They returned to their stone forms, silent once more, waiting. Some say they still stand there today, hidden among the ruins. On quiet nights, travelers near the old gates swear they hear the faint growl of a lion or the whisper of wings. Perhaps the guardians are still watching, still waiting for the day when Hattusa will rise again. And so the myth lives on, a story of loyalty, magic, and the unbreakable bond between a city and its protectors. The guardians of Hattusa's stone gates remind us that some things never truly die. They simply sleep, waiting for the right moment to awaken.